Hi, folks. Welcome to season 4, episode 1 of the Lemons and Pineapples podcast. This season's going in a bit of a new direction. The first few episodes are going to be shared with my very good friend and guest, Sam Shrosbree, who's a functional medicine health coach. And we're going to be doing quite a lot of work talking about the mind-body connection and how we really have got to be looking after our minds and our bodies and bringing them into balance to be really living our best lives and being our best selves. And this episode, we're going to be talking about dysregulation. I have lots of people come to me for coaching, as does Sam, who you're coming for coaching because something in life isn't working. And often the first signs of that can be emotional dysregulation and nervous system dysregulation. But I don't think we're very attuned to understanding what that is, how it shows up. So we're going to be talking about that today. So this will give you a bit of an understanding of how you might be dysregulated, but perhaps not even know about it, what emotional regulation is and isn't, and how to really start to tap into listening to your nervous system, listening to your body, listening to your emotions, so you can start to get a bit more of a handle on what's happening. Often our internal dysregulation spills out into external dysregulation with our emotions, our health, our work, the way we're showing up, the way things are happening for us. And when you can really understand that, you can start to change it. So welcome, Sam.
Thank you, Emma.
We are very excited. So these episodes will give you a bit of a tease into we're concocting something very special, which we'll tell you a little bit more about at the end. So, Sam, I'm going to ask you to kick off by sharing what your take on nervous system dysregulation is from a physiological point of view.
So, essentially, our nervous systems are the parts of us that are communicating what is happening in our outside world to our bodies. And we also have this communication between our minds and our bodies that are happening within our bodies. And our nervous systems are essentially there to protect us. They are constantly scanning our environment, scanning everything that's going on around us, and telling our bodies how to behave appropriately for the main aim of survival. I think, unfortunately, where we get stuck as humans is, number one, our nervous systems are so overstimulated. There's just so much information coming to us. And we are encouraged to just be going and doing and be on all the time. So if we almost imagine a volume to our nervous systems, I feel like the human experience, especially in a busy city life, is pumped up to full volume, like heavy metal music playing all the time. And if our nervous systems are there mainly to protect us and for survival, they're very much more attuned to negative stimuli than positive. I think I read something actually just this weekend that said our nervous systems respond 70% more to negative stimuli than positive stimuli. So we almost wired for the negative as it is, which is all well and good. Even if we were animals still living in the wild, our nervous systems would be doing these kinds of things. I think where humans become dysregulated is that we live in that high volume, heavy metal, go, 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 and we never properly rest and never take the breaks to turn that volume back down to zero and reset the nervous system back to resting state and begin again. So we oscillate at very, very high frequencies of our nervous systems. And when your nervous system is pumped up to that volume all the time, everything seems extra frightening and extra scary. Like, I'm sure everybody knows that experience where you fright at everything and everything makes you jump and everything makes you move quickly. And it's because your nervous system is on that high, high, high alert. And yeah, I suppose we need to find ways of keeping that regulation going continuously throughout the day, that we have the highs, because the highs help us protect ourselves, get things done, but we also manage to have the lows to reset, gather our energies, come back to a resting state, and respond appropriately to stimuli that are coming at us, whether it's from the outside world or just within our minds.
Yeah, 100%. And I think, it's something you and I have talked about a lot off air. We have a program called The Stress is the Solution, which we've been taking into corporate spaces. I think corporate work is a very, very stressful environment. It's go, go, go. There's high pressure. Everybody's on all the time. There's, constant work overload, all of the things that you and I like on a crusade to try and help people to I want to say kick against, but we kind of are, but it's to help people learn that that isn't the norm. It shouldn't be the norm. So we talk about, I think, nervous systems in terms of fight or flight. People will be very familiar with those two states of nervous system. Dysregulation. So if you're constantly feeling anxious, you're constantly worried about things, you're constantly looking out for threats, which unfortunately are not lions, tigers, and bears. They're bloody emails coming in, and it's a deluge of them, and it's just existing is stressful. Or if you're in a state of constant reactivity, of getting angry at the slightest thing, totally overreacting, that is it's a perfect sign of a nervous system that is out of whack. If you can't cope with small things, I think it's never one thing, is it? It's a kind of stack of triggers that take people to the point of snapping when that final email comes in. And the other state we've got, which I think is one that's often mentioned with nervous system stuff, but not really talked about that much, which is freeze, which is where you actually are stuck in inactivity because you don't know which direction to go in, you don't know quite where to move or how to go anywhere. And then it just builds that overwhelm because you procrastinate and you get nothing done. And I think it's really helping people feel into where is my nervous system right now, because I think we're also out of touch with our bodies and what's happening. We're just in coping mode. Again, it's something you and I talk about. It's something I've talked about multiple times on the podcast. I get very frustrated when people are medicated for their dysregulated nervous systems rather than being given the tools to say, this isn't normal, it isn't okay. And actually, there are ways that you can learn to regulate yourself that don't involve medicating the symptoms of a dysregulated nervous system to shut it up. Your reactivity, your overwhelm, your crying all the time, your inability to cope is a sign that something needs to shift in life. It's not a sign that you need to medicate it to shut it up so you can just keep on going. And I know it's something we both come at from I come at it from a very mindset point of view, and you come at it from a real physiological point of view, but the two have to be in balance fundamentally. So can you share from your point of view, what are we looking out for if we're talking about how would someone know physiologically that they've got a dysregulated nervous system?
So, from my side, I mean, the majority of the people I engage with as a physiotherapist are people coming with the body aches and pains, where their bodies are constantly feeling stiff and tense and sore, and there's no underlying, sometimes there is a mechanical issue, but a lot of the time they just have sore, tight, stiff bodies, and that's already almost you can almost have a visual of seeing how somebody's body is on and ready to get into that fighting position or that hiding position. But even the patients that are coming in with their body aches and pains will often talk about a whole list of other things that are going on. I think fatigue is a huge thing. We're not meant to feel exhausted all the time. And I think there's that constant thing, like no matter how much I sleep, I just don't feel energized. And I think that's the first sign that's showing you even now getting your 8 hours sleep is not enough to reset your nervous system, because it's been years of building up of all those thoughts and feelings and all the hormones associated with them. Headaches are big ones. Hormone imbalances, so skin breaking out, infertility issues, IBS, all the digestive issues, big. And I think for you and I feel like that is that's something we have spoken about in your podcast before. I think that's the biggest link that you can start seeing between mind and body. And even just not the things that people necessarily come to physio complaining of, just the state that you see them arriving in physio. It's like everyone's like flying in off the back of something else. They constantly checking their phones. They check their watches. I need to be out of here by X amount of time. Or that you'll be talking to them in the middle of a session. They'll just have a little snooze on the bed because they're just so burnt out and exhausted. And I mean, it always, like you said, it blows my mind whenever someone comes in for a treatment. You get them to write a list of their medications that they're on. I would say 90% of the population are taking either an antidepressant or an anti-anxiety. And you cannot tell me that there probably are people that chemically need to be on a medication, but you can't tell me that 90% of the population needs to be medicating against these things, which either means we are very unwell as a society, or we aren't taught how to manage these things. And instead of thinking my body or my mind is trying to tell me something, how do I listen to this and listen to what it's trying to tell me and work with this? It's just like, it must go away. I don't have time for this. I need to keep going and keep doing. So let me just push it away, numb it away, press it down.
Yeah. My experience and my personal experience has been that if you don't listen to the physical symptoms and you don't pay attention to the fact that you aren't coping, that you're feeling overwhelmed, your body will pull up the handbrake at some point. I've talked about it before on previous podcasts. I had an episode of burnout in 2016 where, okay, I have a joke with some of my shaman friends. I am a typical Capricorn, right? I am go, 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 do, 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 in action. Let's be practical. I am not really someone who sits around crying. I sat around crying. I'm on the floor crying because I felt so revolting, and I just, everything was awful. It felt pointless. I couldn't cope. And I went to the GP and I literally got handed a prescription for some antidepressants. Here you are, you're depressed. No questions of has something changed. And at the time I was making some huge changes in my business, which I think there was a lot that changed really fast. And that's what tipped me over the edge. So I'm on some antidepressants and I wasn't depressed. So it didn't help other than giving me insomnia. Which then got medicated with sleeping tablets. And I thought, I'll hold the phone. There is a really big problem here. If you've just even, nobody asked, nothing. Box of pills and have some more pills to medicate the symptoms from the pills we've given you to make you feel better, which aren't working. And I tried to just push through. I was in workaholic mode. So again, we can talk about there's so many underlying things that lead to burnout. Zero boundaries. No planning with my business, no time off, because I was running with the belief system, if I stop, if I don't work, I don't make money, I can't stop. I mean, it's actually ridiculous when I think about it now, but it was the reality I was in because I didn't know any better. So I tried to keep going through burnout. And then I was lifting something to put it in my car and I put my back out. And I ended up in hospital for 3 days. And I can remember sitting in hospital thinking, oh shit, I have potentially really hurt myself. And I've now potentially rendered myself unable to work. And then I just thought, has it been worth it? All of this hustling and running and trying to please everybody and all of the things I was doing to end up in hospital, potentially with a permanent back injury. And I just thought, what the hell have I been doing? And it was a huge reality check for me. Thankfully, I don't know what I'd done to my back, but it wasn't anything permanent or serious. But it was a massive wake-up call for me. And unfortunately, those wake-up calls sometimes come in the form of something more serious, especially the older you get, heart attack, stroke, cancer. Nobody wants any of that. And unfortunately, when your health has been taken away from you, there's no amount of money that can get that back.
Yeah.
And I think it's for me, this is why I've kind of been on this mission is it doesn't have to be like that.
Yeah.
You can do something different. I think everybody's caught in this cycle of hustle. I've got to have this and work hard and achieve and achieve. But at the end of the day, if you're not happy, you're not healthy, you have no time with people that are important to you, what's the point?
Mm-hmm. No,
What's the point?
exactly. Yeah. I think that is exactly the thing is we're not taught the opposite. We're taught
Yeah,
the achieve and you've got to make money and you've got to survive and you've got to get ahead, but we're not taught the rest and recalibrate and reset and refuel the vehicle to be able to do all those things.
yeah,
And I think
yeah,
maybe we sometimes battle to see the long game.
yeah,
And I think something else that you hit on there is there's that saying, can you listen to the whispers before your body has to scream? So
yeah,
yeah, the little things, if I'm feeling tired or I'm feeling a little bit bloated and digestive issues, I feel like I'm a little bit snappy or I'm a little bit
yeah,
weepy all the time.
yeah.
Do you listen to those things before your
Mm,
body has to say, lady, stop, otherwise I'm going to put you in hospital and make you think about what you are doing. Um,
absolutely.
yeah,
100%. That's it. But I think it's having that level of self-awareness to be able to say, like you've said, I'm feeling really quite sad a lot of the time, and this isn't normal for me, but I actually think a lot of people have lost touch with what's normal. And it is a 2 week holiday is not enough. You can reset for 2 weeks, but I guarantee if you haven't shifted all of the stuff that's causing the overwhelm, it's John Kabat-Zinn with his book, Wherever You Go, There You Are. Yes, it's just as you could go on a 2 week holiday to Bali, but you take yourself with you, unfortunately, and you're going to be
yeah.
sitting in Bali going, oh my God, I've got all this work to do. So unless you start to shift your mindset and start to make some lifestyle changes, it doesn't ever go away. And a holiday isn't enough. It has to be long-term shifts. And I think the thing with that is they don't have to be enormous and all in one go. They can be incremental. Like you've said, starting to listen to, I'm not feeling so great. I can't focus. I'm feeling tired, even though I've slept. For me, when I went to the physio after I'd got out of hospital with my back, wasn't you, it was a different physio, but she said, obviously, she says to me, this back has been telling you for a while it's not quite right, hasn't it? It didn't just go twang out of nowhere, did it? And I went, no, you are completely correct. It's been tweaking and twinging and hurting for a while. And I just went, I'll push through. And unfortunately, it's not the answer. The answer is to go, hang on a minute, there's something not right here. I'm going to make the time to address it. And
Yeah.
this is something that we're very excited. We've put together a 6 week group coaching program, which is called the Recalibration, which we are going to be launching very soon, where we're actually going to be taking you on a journey to help you really start to learn to listen to what's happening internally for you. We're going to be helping you to incrementally and gently and manageably make changes so that you don't end up falling off the edge of the burnout cliff. We talk about everybody has to go, we all have to go to work, we all have to make money, we all have to do things to be able to pay to exist. That's the reality. You can't just go and live in a cave somewhere. But it's about where do we find the joy in life? Where do we find the rest? Where do we find the nurturing? Where do we find the connection with ourselves and with other people? Because really, I think the human experience is really about who you're experiencing it with. If you don't have that, you don't have anything really. That's where the real value in it is. Sam, can you share with us what's the easiest way that someone listening to this can go, this is really great. I'm completely dysregulated, but what the hell can I do about it right now? I don't have 15 minutes to go and meditate. I don't have time to do anything. So this is great that you're having this conversation, Emma and Sam, but what is one thing people can take away from this and they can just go do?
I think even as you were talking now, if we come full circle back to the fact that we are animals and our nervous systems are experiencing things all the time, and
Yeah.
even animals in the wild have they probably have far more stressful lives than we do, nearly being eaten and having to actually go hunt for your food and not just go to the Woolworths. And they don't have to go and meditate and do daily check-ins thinking, how's my stomach feeling today?
Yeah,
How's
I
my
got IBS this morning,
message?
bit gassy.
Was a bit snappy with the other zebra. I mean, they just naturally constantly moving between those different states of nervous system. Their nervous systems know when they've got to be on, where they've got to run away from being food or run to catch their food. And animals naturally do a thing where they go and they shake their bodies around and they literally shake off all those stress hormones. So that is probably the easiest thing that we can just do in our day-to-day life, whether you think you're stressed or not stressed or too much, just go and literally shake off the day at the end of the day. So when you come home, make it joyful. Put on some music, do a little razzle around the kitchen, and just literally move your body because I think we'll cover this along the way, but emotions are energy in motion. So just moving literally shifts that stuff around that it doesn't sit in your body and your body is not going to be dancing around, having fun, laughing, smiling if you are in danger. So physical movement, if you can laugh and enjoy it while you're doing it, is probably the simplest and easiest way to do these things. And I would imagine something the whole family would enjoy doing.
Yeah, I think it can be as simple as, and it's something I know I do. The easiest way to obviously shift stress in your body and also to shift your mood is to crank up the tunes, something happy, folks, please. Okay, it's no point putting a depressing song on if you want to feel better. Put a happy song on, and just have a bit of a boogie for a couple of minutes, and it will reset your nervous system and shift you into a more positive, optimistic frame of mind. It can be that easy. So it doesn't have to be, oh, you got to meditate quietly for 15 minutes, clear your mind. It's nigh on impossible to do that. So what can you do to just have you can do it in the car, have a sing along to something on the way to work, after a meeting, while you're getting dressed in the morning, put some funky music on and it will shift your mood. Have a bit of a boogie. And I guarantee not often that you can actually guarantee something will help somebody. It will help you. I guarantee it. And we would love for you to share your favorite songs to do a bit of a boogie to. You can pop us a DM on Instagram. I've put both of our Instagrams are in the show notes. I'm at Emma O'Brien Coach. Yours, Sam, is?
At Zen Room at the Woods.
Perfect. So they both pop whoever is your favorite chatter today. You can pop us a message. We won't be comparing notes. Pop us a message and let us know what your favorite song is to shift your mood, because I think it's always really interesting to hear what people love to listen to. And if you need a mood boost, put something happy on. Have a boogie. And of course, we are going to be very excited to invite you into our new recalibration course that is launching. You can pop us a DM on Instagram if you're interested in hearing more about that. You can get on the waiting list. It's going to be launching in the next week or so. And like I say, we're going to be taking you through a journey with really easy, practical tools to help make your life better, to help you learn to regulate, to help you learn to enjoy your experience of being human more, because I think that's what we're all really here to do.
Wonderful. How exciting.
Thank you for joining me, Sam. It's great as always. Keep an eye, folks. We've got a few more collaborative episodes coming up. We're going to be taking you on a bit of a journey with the podcast. And thank you for listening. And we will see you in the next episode. Bye for now.